As a technical company, as a company owner for 5 companies myself, we had problems about managing the company. So we developed CoPub. It's a dummy-proof company management which provides all tools like Facebook, and its interface is also as easy as Facebook. We use the only platform for business communications, projects, vaults, groups, and bring all the team, remote workers, and colleagues together. Our competitors are like Yammer and Socialcast. We provide connections between the company and intercompany connections, which is one of the differentiations of our service. You can talk to different contacts from different companies. What's different for us is, while most of the competitors are for enterprise use, we are focused on small to medium enterprises. And the competitors are mostly closed networks, but we do provide companies a business search infrastructure where we have 15 million companies which can connect to each other. We are in beta mode for the last 4 months, and we have more than 3,000 companies registered. And our growth rate is so good, we are now registering 500 companies a week. We have already sold 1,000 seats in this year, and our estimate for the next 4 years is to acquire 11,000 customers, and here are the forecasts for growth and sales. We have a simple business model, which is for subscription per seat. It's $5 per month per seat. And for ad-supported version, it's free and contextual advertising. The investment is required for developing the development team, setting up the marketing team, and we won't do usual marketing like Facebook or Google advertising because the social network grows itself. Our team is together for 6 years, and that's all about CoPub.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So just right exactly at 2.5 minutes. You're just right exactly about 2.5 minutes.
What is the problem you're solving?
It was my problem at the beginning. I was using Gmail, Google Talk, Skype, Notepad, Dropbox, sending emails to myself to...
So is this project management?
It's not project management. It's not a replacement for project management. It's a communications platform which is...
so is it a replacement for email?
It's mostly a replacement for email because we don't need to use email anymore inside the company.
So it's a project management tool?
No, it's not a project management tool. It's a start.
What do you use email for in the company?
We don't use anymore.
No,
emails.
To manage projects, right?
No, actually not.
Okay.
It's not definitely a project management tool, but it might be used as one.
You have to find a bucket where, like, what category your application falls into.
It's something like Facebook for companies. It has all the functions of a social network like Facebook, but it's developed for company use.
It's a communication tool. It's an intranet communication tool for companies.
Yeah, but it provides you connections between your company and the contacts outside your company. So you can add your customers.
If they have accounts as well.
Yes, you can invite them, export your contacts, add invitations, and you simply connect your business peers inside the platform.
And, okay, so you have a lot of text on your slides, and you don't show the user interface, right? You're selling the whole point that this is an email replacement, basically. Well, it better have a really good, engaging user interface, right? So you should show a demo of this product for sure.
And we are live at CoPub, so I didn't want to. We were limited to 6 slides by Burak, so.
So you can get rid of like 5 of those and do a demo of your product. Title slide and then demo. Yeah. You have, up until your traction where you were talking about the numbers, I was pretty much asleep. So you should probably lead with your numbers, especially if you can't show a demo or don't want to show a demo. Because it's really hard to understand, and the way you make it sound is that you're trying to replace email, and that's been a really hard thing to do for a lot of people. It hasn't worked. So you need to lead with traction and say, this is what we do, and make it clear, and what bucket it falls under, what problem it solves, and the fact that it's real and it's working. Show numbers, show graphs, right? You don't need to show especially in this presentation, you don't need to show 5-year projections. So there's a slide you can save. All that's important is to understand what stage your company is at. If you're concept, prototype, live product, paid customers, those are different stages. And you can very quickly get through that and say, you can open with it and say, how many customers do you have?
We have more than 1,000 seats sold right now.
Okay, how many companies?
We have more than 3,000 customers signed up, but we're at beta, so we just started selling the product.
Okay, so your opening should be something like, I'm going to tell you about how we've replaced email for over 3,000 companies.
Yeah.
Of which 500 are already paying, or whatever the number is.
That's good numbers.
Right? That's your lead in. It's like, oh, okay, I know what you do, and that this is a live product that's generating revenue. Tell me more. And then talk about the problem more. The problem is people are sending emails, it's ineffective, or whichever way you want to describe it, do it in 2-3 sentences. And then go into your demo. Here's how it works. Everybody here has used email for a long time. They understand what it is. Everybody manages projects within companies. Everybody communicates. So show us how it's different. That's going to be very important.
That's one of the barriers of the product. So there are so many habits we have to break. So once the people are joining the network and adding people to their network, they get rid of using email because they don't need emailing inside the company anymore. It's just like using Facebook with messages, walls, project
So
groups.
you want to be very careful with that message, because if you're trying to sell people the idea that you're going to change people's habits, that's a very hard sell. But if the user interface shows us that this is much easier to do, then you don't even have to mention it.
Either Asana solves the product by saying teamwork without email. We are just a similar thing, teamwork without email, but we are not the project management tool only.
It's fine. Be the best project management tool in the world. Who cares? Like, you don't need to be more than that.
It might be your experience, you might be more engaged with email, but people are shifting to this way. In the next 10 years...
No, accept it. Everybody accepts that. All I'm saying is, for the sake of your presentation, when you go on stage and say, and have a bunch of slides full of text, and say you're going to get rid of email, nobody's going to believe you. And at the end, the only reason that it's interesting is that you said you have big numbers. If you didn't have those numbers at the end, I wouldn't even be interested at all in the presentation.
Okay. And for the record, Asana is not doing well. It's doing well only because the founders are like 100 millionaires, right? They made money from Facebook and funding it themselves and got their friends to fund it. Otherwise, as a business, it's actually not doing very well.
I didn't get the message. Can you repeat it?
Asana, you mentioned Asana, right? You know, they're not a great example of a company that you should compare yourself with.
It's not a comparison of businesses. It's a comparison about the use of teamwork with or without email. I have started up a few companies and growth companies with network effects. We know how to do the business. So we have put our expertise in the business domain. So our decision about the product is we will get rid of email for business use. That might not be your idea. And that's not a part of Asana as well. So this is something different.
So the whole point is, my favorite English teacher in school said, show me, don't tell me.
Okay, just go to Copap for yourself.
No, I'm not. We're not arguing with you.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, for your presentation, show it in your presentation. Don't tell us about it. Show it to us.
Do you understand? I mean, we're not saying your idea sucks. We're not saying your business sucks. We're just saying most people are lazy. Most of us are not going to go to Copub and check this out. I'll be very frank. We're not going to go check this out. So
You're
you
not
have
our
to
customers, by the way, not technical startups. I do see your point, by the way.
I'm not sure you do.
Every week we sign up 500 users from the world.
Argue with your feedback givers. I mean, they are giving you feedbacks about your pitching. They are not arguing your business model or customer relationship management. They are giving you feedbacks about your pitching. It is get them as a favor. I mean, not they are not challenging
I'm
you.
not objecting.
What do you want to achieve with the pitch tomorrow? What do you want to achieve here?
Burak has invited us to pitch here because he believed that we should pitch the company to global investors.
So what would be, in your mind, what would be, how do you define success? What should happen tomorrow for you to feel like this was a good use of time?
Actually, I would like to find some investors, if that's the case, who are in our vision to connect their expertise and money together to create the network. So we are already growing in Turkey. We have a business just like this, and we have more than 160,000 companies in Turkey. But for a global reach, we need global investors.
So you realize investors only care about your numbers, right? They're not going to fall in love with your vision in busy text, you in the middle of 75 pitches that they're going to forget about.
We have to get rid of that much of text.
You have to get them excited and passionate. Like, you're passionate about your business. You have to get everybody in the room passionate about your business. So what's the best way to do that? Show the application. If it works that well, show the application. Everybody should fall in love with it, right?
Yeah, that's the point.
That's really the point. We're trying to help you improve your presentation so you achieve your goal.
Yeah. And I just want to qualify. I literally see 100 pitches a week, and I've seen them for almost 2 years. So do you know how many pitches I see? So I see stuff that's really good. I see stuff that isn't very good. One of the challenges for this region as a whole compared to in the US is in the US, and I'm generalizing, is that the pitches are very good. Most of the time the business and the product sucks. Here, most of the time the business model tends to be pretty good, but the pitches suck. And so if you're trying to get global investors where they're seeing a lot of the same stuff I'm seeing, this doesn't do it for me. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
right.
I can agree with that.
And I know you haven't shown your passion on the stage.
I'm not a very good day, by the way. I haven't slept all the night and I had problems. So
I mean, you have passion with your business, but you haven't show us while telling and presenting your
by the way, this
company.
is the first time I'm trying to give a pitch in 2 minutes, so it's a different experience.
These are all
I've given
reasons.
conferences in 1 hour or 2
excuses.
hours.
These are excuses. PP, I mean, you are going to pitch only 2.5 minutes. Just focus and give your passion, and then everyone could get attention to your business as well, because you are expecting something at the end of the presentation.
How many small businesses do you think there are in Turkey?
In Turkey, we estimate that we are both crawling the web for Turkish businesses in Turkey. This is not about Copap, and we have our own subscribers. So we have more than 400,000 companies which are Kobis in Turkey. So our estimate is something like 3 to 3.5 million Kobis in Turkey.
Okay, so I just wanted to check based on kind of my estimates as well. That's what the numbers say. Who knows?
All right.
Okay.
I mean, you're very clearly, the reason I think you're challenging us on some of this stuff is because you're very clearly passionate about the vision about this business. That's good. Just channel it in a way that's hopefully a little bit more productive, right? Because the reality is that we're all tired. I just flew in myself, so just, there are excuses. I think it's your job to communicate this in a way that is, makes us much more receptive, if that makes sense, right? And
You're putting on a show, right? You better entertain us, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the way you stand out. You have to have the energy. Doesn't matter if you're tired. If you're going to do it well, or don't do it.
Okay. That's one option. Thank you.
Thank you.